All right, Libra. Here we are in a fellow air sign season. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended to this reading, which we get more in depth, pull more cards, see what's really going on. May feel personal at times. This is just a general reading for Libra, February 2023. There's a lot of cards that just fell out. Okay, so this is an era, a new era, a time when a new era begins. The nodes are going into your signs, and your sign, Libra, and the axis of Aries as well. You know that you're putting and you're continuing to put in the time and the effort wherever in your life that you feel most sensitive to, most personal, most sensitive for yourself specifically. The person in your life who has to make all the decisions. It's a very independent feeling. And you could still feel connected. That's not what I'm saying. This is for more Libra suns. Libra risings will feel more adept to be drawn to connections in their life right now, especially with other people. So if that relates to both of you, awesome. And then here we have this very clear inward moment, inward month. And whereas in the beginning of the month, you're realizing how your sensitive points, your touch points, those touch points of where you are sensitive areas in your life, you want to be in a place where that isn't a problem for you. You want to be able to create from those places and even utilize those things. So I think this month, Aquarius season can help this a lot, especially if there's something emotionally and mentally troubling and get connected. This season can help you really take the seat back that you need. And even if you have to develop some kind of meditation or prayer practice that can help you separate, use your cards. And give yourself space from the necessary areas in your life, the necessary thought process, the habits, all of those things. Why? Because there's something very strongly that you desire on an internal level, that you have something creative and really important to you, special to you, unique to you to bring to the table. And I think that for a while you have been just going with what works and what has worked externally. And now I think you're getting a lot more personal. I think you're coming to a point in your life where you know if in order for that, the raw material to meet you and for you to actually want to act upon it, something has to hit you in a place where it's coming from a place of generosity. You're going to want to keep giving the energy there. You're going to want to not overthink or doubt. It's deeply rooted in purpose, for sure, in a place of purpose, in a space of, it doesn't always have to feel so deep, but that you can connect to that deep level. You can connect to that space of, I'm giving this because of this, because of my ability to, my skill to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to give this. My skill to read cards, I'm going to make a YouTube channel so other people can take a look, maybe learn something about themselves, just maybe listen to another perspective about something. gain some insight. I don't know. Those are the things that I'm hoping to bring, is that you learn to think for yourself. That yes, I'm reading this to you, but you don't have to agree with everything, or something I said sparks something and then you take it and you run with it. That's the whole point of the detachment and the letting go of, and I could be even speaking to myself as a Libra, and letting go of even what comes to you and meets you. Even if it's like the most amazing idea or whatever creative venture, or to move, or whatever it is that you feel, it's important that you harness it and you create from that space and not give it away prematurely. That you not like over speak about it too much. I don't know, there's like a fun, clever, of course, clever word for that, but you don't speak about it too much. You hold it close to yourself. You make sure that it's, because you realize that these things that you find in these very vulnerable moments, you're sometimes so willing and easy to give away the energy that you give back. And I know that for some of you it's a read. I understand, because I do this and I have done this. And if you don't relate to this, that's cool too. But that you're so willing to give it, that you don't give yourself time to settle into what you've learned and the thing that came with the idea, and how to cultivate that and nurture that. And you've been in this, maybe, I don't know, space, or just like out here in space wondering what you can connect to. And if, for those of you who have found the thing that you connect to in life, it doesn't have to be legit your career either. It's just this specific hobby or community, whatever it is that you find brings you more of this magic, more of this life giving, like what you find that you like and that lights you up in life, or what brings you energy, or what gives you that, and who gives you that time and space to just be yourself, as well as with yourself. So you'll find yourself maybe wanting to spend a lot of the beginning of the month alone, and then maybe coming more out of your shell towards the end of the month, or you meet yourself with this idea and you learn to develop it throughout the course of the month, and realize that you need to make sure you have everything you need moving forward for when you want to give your energy elsewhere. And you may need to step out of the house and step away from it, maybe not talk about it, like talk about certain things so much, take your mind off of it and allow it to be and become its own entity, or become its own plant, or become its own seed. So that could be a theme that you find throughout the course of this year, as the eclipses move into your sign, because there's going to be a lot of exposure and a lot of integration, all going to need to happen at once, especially for Libra risings, I think, suns and risings, and greater responsibility for a more purposeful path. That's a responsibility to develop your purpose, to be in relation to it, to check and see when you're out of alignment with it, or if your alignment is changing. There's especially this need that if you have come across something very in-depth, very personal, that you have met yourself at, or if someone has also guided you towards, if it's something you find when you're in conversation with someone, or in therapy, or whatever you do, however you talk to someone or communicate, it just comes out naturally. There's something that you can do, and you can somehow guide yourself, and boundaries extend beyond the physical. And something that I was taught was that you can make spiritual boundaries, and that's what I have begun to do. So right place, right time. There's always a right place, right time to learn what you need to learn. You know, it won't always look the way you want it to look. It won't, you know, you won't always love the way it looks and love what's happening, but it's for right place, right time. And if you can trust that and you can move through that, especially in this time when you are feeling more sensitive or you're finding those sensitive points, but also making them a strength, an asset, something that you can really benefit from as you move forward and into a more creative space with yourself, with life, because it is a life-giving energy, but you also have to give a lot too. You have to, you know, have that detachment of some sort. You need to find that place where that sweet spot at some point where you can guide on through and know that if you touched a spot without even realizing it, or you maybe pushed yourself a little bit in the ways that come up this month, to give yourself the proper care that you need. And maybe it's like journaling at night or taking a bath or asking for something from your partner, some kind of self-care if you have one, or talking to a friend, or just giving or doing that like small thing that makes you feel like at any time in your life this is okay. At any time in your life, you will always need this kind of love. You will always need this kind of acceptance. You will always need this understanding. And as you become more intimate with this space, and also remembering that there will be more revealing this year, you can come to this maybe agreement that there is always something that you're trusting in this life, the more that you stay the way that you are, that you're already doing it and you need to just keep going, you know, to let yourself out, to not be so reserved or guarded or controlled in the way that you respond. We've learned to let things flow, then also to, you know, be humble and apologize. You've learned so many things because you can trust that now, that you trust yourself and you trust where this is going, and that there's a deepening happening, that which gives you more room, which may expand you a little bit more. And this overarching theme of you're meeting yourself. You're meeting yourself each time over and over again. That when you realize you don't know what's happening, but you continue to do it anyway, it's that point. That's that point. So wherever that may appear in your life, for most of you, this is career. This is situations that really are sticking out and standing out to you right now. And it could be a relationship too. So, but I think for most of you, it's like, what is important to me enough? What am I willing to utilize from myself? What you are maybe not only good and skilled at, and it could be something even more than that for some of you, but maybe just that for others. And you're willing to put some energy into, knowing that there's going to be ups and downs, knowing that this is a part of it, knowing that this is even just your healing process. It doesn't have to be something you're selling. It doesn't have to be something, this is just for you. And then maybe it evolves. And that's where philosophically, I think, is a good place and healthy place for Libras to be at. So anyway, you can get there. Okay, Libra? All information is below to go even farther into it, because I know it was very general. It's the only way I could really make it work, and we'll see you next month.